What's up everybody, this is Cob and welcome to Sundays with Cob, episode 35. The series is back. Every couple of weeks on a Sunday, I'm going to be uploading a Sunday's episode. I'll be talking about any kind of updates I want to share with you guys. But most importantly, there will be Q&As and many of them. Now, I am aware that I've released a Sunday's episode on a Monday, or maybe it didn't even be a Tuesday at this point. Not a great start, I know, but it was a bit of a rush to make this one. We very recently hit a big milestone goal on the Patreon page, and that is actually what has revived the series, so a huge shout out again to you guys on Patreon. Mentioned it in my last video, the support is just absolutely blows my mind. Without further ado, I actually don't have any updates to cover at the start of this one, so we're just going to get straight into the questions from you guys. Some awesome questions, the first of which comes in from Cam Kush, and he asks, Cob, what is your goal for the future of your YouTube career? It's always a little bit strange when I hear people say YouTube career. I know it's technically my job to make YouTube videos and stream on Twitch, and it does take up a ton of time and effort, almost to the point where it kind of takes over your life, but it does feel like it takes a lot of time and effort in the same way that an artist might spend a ton of time painting, or a musician might spend a ton of time, writing lyrics. I almost don't notice how much work I put in, because to me it doesn't even feel like work. Just seeing the comments and hearing that I made people laugh or I inspired them, it really is just the greatest feeling for me. And if that's anything to go by, I've already reached my goal. I'm making videos, people are enjoying them. I'm lucky enough to just be about able to make a living off of it. And at that point I just can't ask for more. So I really don't have any goals like reach 100k subscribers on YouTube. Even though that would be fucking amazing. I guess my goal right now is just to hold on to what we have. We've got an amazing community here. I just never wanted to stop. I'm going to do everything I can to stay on this train, and it's just amazing to have so many of you guys sticking around with me on this journey, Next up, Sweglalel asks, when did you get your first 2.2 achievement, and how did you feel? Greetings from Turkey. I got my first 2200 achievement in the 2v2 bracket. It was during Wrath of the Lich King. I was playing with Tarthine, Destruction Warlock, Holy Paladin, 2v2s. I honestly don't even know how we did it. I think I had around 9 keybinds or something, which I thought was really good at the time as well. We weren't using Skype or any kind of communication, and we just sort of randomly hit 2200, nearly pushed 2300 too actually. I vaguely remember getting the achievement and actually thinking nothing at all of it. We hadn't been trying to push rating or anything, we'd just been playing for fun, and eventually we'd hit 2.2. We kind of typed to one another like, oh cool, we hit 2.2, you ready to queue more? It wasn't even something that we were shooting for, I guess. Destro Lock Holy Paladin was really strong in Wrath though. We were sort of boosted by comp in that way, and in 2v2s, it's pretty much all we did was 2v2s for pretty much an entire season, just queuing up every single day for fun, so it didn't really feel like anything that had happened. Mythix asks, is WoW worth resubscribing to now? I've heard this one a few times on the stream, so I'm going to answer it as best I can here, so hopefully it covers it for a whole bunch of people. The answer is yes and no, and that's because it is really subjective. In my opinion, if you're really into PvE, now is a great time to be playing the game. I can't guarantee that you're going to enjoy yourself, but I'm always hearing good things about the game right now from PvEers, so yeah, I'm assuming that they're doing something right in that part of the game. I'd also say yes, the game is worth playing for PvP, but only if you're playing a strong class like, most melees, a good healer, or a viable caster like Affliction Warlock or Frost Mage. But I would also strongly recommend that you only come back to the game for PvP if you have friends or arena partners to play with. Ashran is shite, 2v2s are imbalanced as hell, duels, well PvP and battlegrounds. These are things that only get you so far and can keep you entertained for only so long. So in my opinion, 3v3 and 5v5 arenas are one of the only real kind of in-game options for PvPers. Maybe even not even 5v5s anymore. Maybe it is only 3v3s. So if you're thinking about coming back to the game for PvP, have friends ready to play arenas with you, or be prepared to look for new arena partners. Now if you've never enjoyed arenas, and you don't want to play Flavor of the Month classes, and PvE isn't something that you're interested in at all, I would say that no, right now the game probably isn't worth coming back to. Warblades Leech asks, what are you doing in this arena season of WoW? Are you going to be playing at all? I actually don't even know, man. I'm really interested in playing some Affliction LSD, maybe with Pingu and his Boomkin. But that's just it. I've always played arenas with longtime friends like Pingu, but just none of them play the game anymore. So I really don't know. Maybe some of them will come back and we'll get something going, but even if we do, it's hard to see it being too serious mode. 900 Mikhail says, hey Cob, I know this isn't a gaming or personal question, but I tend to have low self-esteem and are in general nervous, especially around girls. Do you have any tips to gain confidence? Thanks for the consideration and stay destro. Well, you've come to the right place, 900 Mikkel. Maybe not really, but I'm going to try and help you out a little bit. Obviously, I'm no expert on this, but I was exactly like you. I still am pretty introverted. I keep to myself, unless I've had like a drink or two. But one of the main things that I learned, it was during college actually, is just to be proud to be you. You've got to understand that there are things about you that are going to be better than 90% or something of, of the rest of people. You might be artistic, you might be a deep thinker, you might be the kind of person who just tells it like it is. Maybe you feel like something subjective, like the music that you listen to, is just way better than the crap that everyone else seems to listen to. And the point is that there are a lot of things that you're going to be able to see in yourself that you can take pride in. For me, when I was in college, it was gaming and writing. I just made sure that people knew that I was good at these things, not by telling them, but just by pitching in when the right conversation started up. And as soon as people around you start to know what you're all about, even if it's just what kind of music you like, you start building bridges. Of course, you might find that some people might want nothing to do with you once they find out who you are, but you're also going to find people, with the exact same interests as you, and when that happened to me, it really started to boost my confidence, And from my experience, it really does only take one person to give you that kind of positive feedback, and the confidence just builds and builds. You'll find that there are people out there, girls included, that are really going to like what you have to say about something, or the music that you listen to, or the games that you play, or whatever. I actually remember before I got with Sophie, I was in psychology class, and we were talking about how to know when someone is lying, and I was sitting beside this girl that I thought was really pretty. I remember being kind of nervous about it, just like you described. So anyway, spotting lies is something that I'm pretty good at, and I knew that I was good at it, so I decided I was going to put that out there. So we ended up doing this thing where she had to tell me 3 things about herself, and one of them would be a lie. It was kind of like a classroom activity that we had going. I had to pick out the lie, and I got it right every single time, and she couldn't believe it, she was amazed and frustrated that she couldn't beat me, and that got us talking a bit, and for me, just being one of the quietest motherfuckers in the room, that just made me feel so good that I got talking to someone, just by opening up about something that I felt I was good at. It wasn't awkward at all, because I knew what I was talking about. I ended up explaining to her in the end, how I did it, and of course at some point I realised that it didn't matter at all. That she was a good-looking girl, she was just a person, after all. It was a big step for me in building my confidence. Maybe a similar kind of thing could work out for you too. Just putting yourself out there a little bit and finding common ground with people is a great place to start. When it came to meeting up with Sophie, actually, it was even easier mode than that, I found out that Sophie played World of Warcraft, and it was just GG. A little bit of a stroke of luck involved there, of course, but it got us talking really easy. And again, halfway through talking to her, I just kind of forgot that I should be nervous, because it's a beautiful girl. Now for some specific girl stuff, being yourself and just staying true to who you are is more important than ever. Just relax and don't try and act differently or anything. If you want somebody to like you, it should be for who you really are and what you really stand for, and not some pretend version of yourself. And a last little point, girls are just human beings. They get nervous, they get upset, they stink if they don't fucking jump in the shower. And always remember that there are girls out there that, are going to be even more shy than you. And those are the kind of people that, might love someone to take the time to actually get to know them. Now, I don't know if I've helped at all here, man. I hope I have somehow. But main points, be yourself, be proud to be yourself, and just don't think things through too much. Next question comes in from Only Dreams, and he asks, how the heck do you play with the new undead model? Animations are ruined. The animations have been butchered, I agree. But the main animation I miss is the old Immolate and Shadowburn animations, where your character kind of throws his hands up in the air, It was so much more flavoursome than having every damage spell a direct cast animation. I play with the new undead models though, just for the graphical improvements. Switching back to the old models doesn't fix the Immolate or Shadowburn animations, and if it did, I would definitely be using the old models. But it doesn't, which sucks balls. So, yeah, I'm probably just going to stick with the new ones for now. Go for it, Gary asks, what used to keep you playing WoW when the interest wasn't dying for you? This is a really good question. It definitely got me thinking a lot. My interest for the game started to decline a little during Cataclysm. Maybe it was something to do with the sense of community going down the drain a little bit, because they introduced Cross-Realm and Raid Finder. The PvP in Cataclysm was also terrible, and that was one of the first real times I can remember having my faith in Blizzard shaken. Just backtracking a little bit actually, was Cross-Realm introduced at the end of Cataclysm? Or was it at the start of Miss Pandaria or something like that? But anyways, yeah, this expansion has been dreadful in my eyes, Walls of Draenor. So I suppose the real question is, what was WoW doing to keep me playing the game before Walls of Draenor? that it is not doing anymore. It's not really one or two big things that the game has stopped doing, you know, it's more like a ton of little things that have gradually changed, you know, over the years, culminating in Worlds of Draenor. So I'm just going to have to list them all. Leveling used to be difficult, very, very time consuming. It used to be part of the game, part of the challenge. Now it's just a mindless, tedious grind with barely any sense of achievement when you actually hit max level. This makes you value your max level characters, you know, or character way, way less than you should. The community is in tatters, cross-realm zones, raid finder, LFG, leveling being piss easy, and thus making it completely unneeded to ever question a group. And now the abomination that is garrisons have, you know, altogether, in my opinion, dismantled the game's community brick by brick. Not all of the things that I mentioned right there are bad things, but they definitely all contribute in their own way to the I don't give a shite attitude of a lot of players these days. PvP balance has been utterly ignored during this expansion. This has happened before, but it's starting to get old now. Ashran, similar to leveling, professions used to be really, really challenging and rewarding to level. Now they feel completely brainless. It's all just done within your garrison. And probably the biggest one for me, my friends have quit the game. There used to be about 8 of us, you know, ever since early Cataclysm we played RBGs, 5v5s, 3v3s. Now there is only me and Craze left. Within 3 months of Worlds of Draenor, Mac, Pingu, Dibs, Sophie, Tathine, Veristex, they all quit. And I like to play with friends, you know, it's way, way more fun for me. And they didn't quit gaming, you know, most of them just moved to better PvP games in the form of MOBAs like Dota 2 and Heroes of the Storm. So when it was announced that WoW has lost 3 million players in the first quarter of this year, I wasn't surprised at all, because to me it felt like 80% of the people I know had just stopped playing, and that's definitely a big thing for me this expansion, you know. It's the feeling that war has been one step too far in the wrong direction with garrisons and the PvP balance. Again, you know, and less content for more money. It's just been too much for a lot of people to take, and now I feel lonelier than ever, you know, when I log in. I know there are millions of people still playing, but when you log in as a PvPer, completely alone in your garrison, you check your friends lists, everyone has either rolled Alliance, quit the game, or is playing Heroes of the Storm, you can't help but experience, you know, a certain sinking feeling. But that's just me. Sorry for the long-winded answer. I just wanted to be sure that I got everything in there. And hey, that is going to be that for the questions this week. Some really, really good ones to get the series started again. And if you have questions that you would like answered in the next episode, a couple of weeks from now, drop it in the comments down below before we wrap this one up. We do have a couple of bosses that need to be shouted out, and their names are Dematori, aka Spooky, and Shut Up Spunky. These legends right here have pledged $75 to the channel between them on the Patreon page, Spooky50 and Spunky25. Both incredible numbers. You know, actually blew my mind in the middle of the last couple of live streams, both of these guys. So again, thank you guys so fucking much. You know, it's immense to have people like you backing me up. It really does make a difference to the amount of time I can stream and work on the videos. So yeah, you know, just thank you guys so much. And that is going to conclude this episode. I really hope that you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching or just listening. Remember to leave a like behind if you're glad to see it back on the channel. Thanks again, everybody. And I will catch all of you guys just a tad bit later.